In one corner, we have Nikola Jokic, and he's angry. In the other corner is Markeiff Morris, and he's on the ground. Hanging over the ropes, reaching to be tagged in, salivating for blood, we have their brothers.
Hey, did you know we have a Patreon, where you get new stuff every Monday, like episodes of Pretty Good, our podcast, a scathing review of my brand new baby, and stuff where you see our faces. So, falling in love is a possibility. Okay, back to the beef.
Let's meet the headliners of our beef. Going by height, up first, Nikola Jokic. Jokic grew up in Serbia in a small apartment with two gigantic older brothers. It sounds about as chaotic as you imagine when you see these three adults. Surely they were smaller as children, but still. The Joker went pro in Serbia at age 17, where he played a different position, what he called fat point guard. He could toss impressive passes and clearly had vision, but weighing 300 pounds with little to no muscle, he wasn't getting any looks from NBA scouts. His brother Strahinja, a former Serbian pro basketball player himself, was actually a big part of Nikola replacing some of that fat with muscle. Strahinja moved to Belgrade to train him. But there's another reason NBA scouts weren't looking in Nikola's direction: the soft European stereotype. Not helped by the fact that Nikola once hit the injured list because he signed too many autographs. Also not helped by Darko Milicic, one of the larger busts in the history of the NBA, and a product of Serbian professional basketball. Milicic even had ties to the Jokic family. Nikola's older brother, Nemanja, played Division I ball for Detroit Mercy, choosing that school because Milicic played for the Pistons. He lived with Milicic in his mansion, which led to a lifestyle that wasn't super conducive to collegiate sporting success. Despite the youngest Jokic's red flags, the Nuggets took him with the 41st pick in 2014. His brothers were a huge part of his life in America. They took on a supportive and protective role, to the extreme. They all lived together, and the big bros went to all of Nikola's games, home and away. Nemanja said Nikola is getting this family support whether he likes it or not. It's what Nemanja wishes he had for his career. But hey, Nikola doesn't mind his bros. He's looked up to them since his pacifier days. And though correlation doesn't equal causation, the family support seems quite good for Nikola. He's become a rather successful 41st pick. And in addition to all those accomplishments, he got to teach the world a little something.
They believe in the fat boy. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
Don't bet against the fat boy. While he's improved his physique dramatically from his muscle-less 300-pound days, Jokic still gets called fat and out of shape, which he doesn't love. At 6'11", 284 pounds, he's sure not cut from marble, but he's certainly someone you don't want hitting you. Even if you're, 6'9", 245? Hey, let's meet Markeiff Morris. The stretch four started his career in Phoenix, and in the middle of his second year, he was joined by his twin brother Marcus. And they loved it. These brothers are also extremely close. They played for Kansas together, they have the same tattoos, which is an interesting choice when you're an identical twin. Really committing to it. They lived together in Phoenix and even shared a bank account. The Morris brothers signed early rookie contract extensions with the Suns, and the team just gave their agent a lump sum and said divide it however you want. And the Morrises were just like, what's sibling rivalry? Many thought the deal wasn't that great for the brothers, but the Morrises didn't want to test free agency and make more money. They wanted to play together. Which you'd think would endear people, at least the people of Arizona, to them. It's loyal, it's cute, it's every parent's dream. But soon after signing, the Morris brothers developed reputations as physical players who were also malcontents with bad tempers. In the summer of 2015, Marcus was traded away. Markeiff was pissed and expressed it by demanding a trade in papers and on Twitter, fighting a teammate, and acting so grumpy the Suns' owner basically called him soft. Your brother moved away. Get over it, millennial. Markeiff eventually got his trade, but his reputation didn't exactly improve. I mean, yeah, Markeiff can hit threes and had a role in the Lakers' 2020 championship, but also a lot of people call him a dirty player. and they have examples to cite. Like in 2018 when he shoved OG Anunoby in the back and then shoved the ref. Or in 2021 when he shoved Boogie Cousins as hard as he could as Cousins helped out a teammate. When Markieff was on the Wizards, his own coach called him a bully. A talented bully, though. So this is who our beef originated with. A gigantic MVP from Europe and a bully role player with a ring. Their respective teams met in the 10th game of the 21-22 season. The Nuggets were blowing out the Heat, up 17 with 2.5 minutes left. And then this happened. Morris took a hard foul, and Jokic showed us that, though not cut from marble, he's actually quite strong. Morris was on the ground for a while. They brought out a stretcher, which must have scared Jokic. Like, you think he's over on the bench just like, oh fuck, I just paralyzed a guy. Morris was able to walk off the court, but he was pretty hurt. The rest of the Heat team wasn't pleased. A lot of pushing and shoving. The Nuggets staff got into it. It sure looked like Jimmy Butler was telling everyone where to continue the fight later, in the back. And he meant it. Here's a picture of the whole team waiting for their fight post-game. But security intervened, cooler heads prevailed, and there was no further brawl. In the post-game press conference, Jokic was repentant. The league suspended Jokic for a game, fined Morris $50,000 for the initial foul, and fined Butler $30,000 for escalating. Though Morris got hurt and was shoved with his back turned, he received little to no sympathy from fans and experts alike. On Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny Smith all defended Jokic. He had to retaliate or he'd be thought of as soft. They cited Blake Griffin, often called soft even by his own teammates when he didn't retaliate to the rough stuff. Well, what about the fact that Jokic shoved Morris when his back was turned? Nah, that's Morris's fault too.
When you hit me, don't turn around. If you hit me, you better not turn your damn back.
The next day, Morris took to Twitter to try and project good nature and also defend himself a little with the whole "my back was turned" point. And he was eaten alive in the comments. People posted clips of him shoving others in the back and mocked him for saying he's built different because of, the stretcher and getting super hurt and all. And Morris was really injured. He missed a lot of time with whiplash from Jokic's shove. In January, he was still out, and Legion Sports tweeted, "That's wild," which it is. A human, not a car accident, gave him whiplash. Morris tweeted back and sounded quite defensive, as well as angry with Jokic. Morris wasn't back in action anytime soon. He missed a total of 58 games from the Jokic shove. Jokic never reached out to apologize or anything like that. And that was just fine with Markieff. Now, all of Twitter wasn't united against Markeiff Morris. There was at least one guy on the platform who defended him. Which brings me to why I gave you so much information on everyone's brothers. Hours after the shove, Markeiff Morris tweeted in defense of his brother. Although, is defense the right word if you're issuing a threat? Moments after that tweet hit the internet, a since-deleted Twitter account was created. And that account replied to Markeiff with a more explicit threat. There was no picture, no verification, but Nikola's brothers confirmed with a Nuggets beat reporter that it was really them tweeting. Now, I want to give you just a little bit more background on the Jokic brothers that seems relevant here. They're kind of scary. Nikola has said so as a joke, but the joke works because they're scary. They train at an MMA gym 5 days a week. Nemanja, the less intimidating-looking one in this picture, was a pro MMA fighter in 2018. He only had 3 fights, but he did win them all by knockout. When the Jokic brothers are watching a stressful Nuggets game, Strahinja moves seats to be alone and punch chairs. When Nikola and Devin Booker scuffled in 2021, they got mad in a way that makes me worried for the security guards. And now the really bad stuff. In 2019, Strahinja was arrested for alleged domestic violence, but that charge was dropped when he pled to obstruction of phone service and felony trespassing. And in 2024, see, he's scary. And while Marcus might not be as scary or scary in the same sense, there are also reasons to not invite his ire. He certainly likes fighting, as you can see in this 2019 preseason game. No stakes, and he's ready to use the ball as a weapon and escalate from there.
In the 2020 playoffs, he stepped on Luka Doncic's injured ankle, which makes him scary in a different, more evil way. If he did it on purpose, etc., etc., I'm not saying he did. This can't be used against me in the court of law. So combine all that with the fact that these sets of brothers are extremely close, and at the time, it certainly seemed like this Twitter back and forth could turn into something real and violent. About 3 weeks after the shove, the Nuggets and Heat faced off in Miami. Udonis Haslem said the incident was behind them.
But in the same article, he heavily implied if the Jokic brothers did anything, there'd be a fight. The Jokic brothers did go to the game, but they go to all their brothers' games. Nothing happened. Nikola got booed, but not even that badly. The following year, the Heat played the Nuggets in the finals. Okay, now can we get some drama? Oh, come on. Fine, Markieff wasn't even on the Heat anymore. But what about Butler and all that let's fight in the back stuff? Well, apparently that wasn't even about Jokic. Rather, someone else from the ensuing melee bugged him. But Butler wouldn't even name them. I'm not going to leave you hanging. But even that incident was behind Butler. So that's it? Morris was out for 58 games. Nobody wants to defend him? Well, one guy does. On All the Smoke, Markeiff Morris said he was trying to avenge his brother and hurt Jokic the next time his team played the Nuggets. The only problem was Jokic's teammates wouldn't let him near the MVP. So he went after a different Nuggets player to make a point.
I can't get him. I'm going to get one of your teammates. Then we're going to have to take it like that.
Who?
Who'd you get?
Austin Rivers. I just had to take him out. Hey, fuck it.
Everyone is laughing because Austin Rivers is not involved in the beef, much smaller than Morris, and, you know, his dad's a coach, so it's funny to pick on the teacher's kid kind of thing. Some beefs are petty, some beefs start small and linger. Not this one. This one started pretty big, but the culmination of one of the more violent on-court incidents in NBA history, of players wanting to brawl in the tunnel, of Twitter threats from guys who like fighting and have temper issues, was this, an Austin Rivers headshot. Unless, of course, this beef hasn't culminated just yet. What's that, Markeiff?
It was a sucker shot. We gonna get his, though.
Thank you so much for watching, and to everyone listed here, thank you so much for subscribing to Patreon. If you want your name in lights and tons more content, subscribe to that Patreon. And if you want to stick around on YouTube, we're here for you. Watch more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do I sound needy? Leave some positive comments about me personally. For Secret Base, I'm Clara Morris. Good night and good game.